Handling and management rules. Today we will see about what is e-waste, which is nothing but electronic waste, various sources of e-waste. So from what all sources e-waste are usually generated, what are the problems associated with this particular electronic waste, what do you mean by e-waste handling and management rule 1998, disposal methods that are available for e-waste, and a case study on e-Parisara Private Limited. So coming to what is e-waste. So e-waste is nothing but electronic waste. These are usually created from electronic materials. So once you use the electronic material, so after its use, you'll discard it. So this discarded material after its end of the life is called as, it becomes e-waste. Okay. So this is because of rapid advancements in technology. Okay. Today's technology is tomorrow's e-waste. So that is the major concern. That is why the other definition for it is e-waste is defined as electronic or electrical equipments or products that have become obsolete because of advancements in technology or change in fashion. So today you will have a mobile, tomorrow you want a new mobile. So the old mobile is gone and that will become a e-waste, and management of that e-waste is becoming a tedious task in present era. So coming to the types of e-waste, you can see, just have a look at different types of e-waste which are generated. Okay, so your televisions, your audiovisual equipment, cell phones, monitors, personal electronic devices, mouse, keyboard, scanners, all are examples for e-waste. And you can have a look on various sources of e-waste. So there are a lot of sources generating e-waste. Not only homes, hospitals, governments, private sectors, IT companies, all these produce a lot of e-waste. So again, I have highlighted few devices which comes under e-waste category. You can just have a look at it. So then coming to the management of e-waste. E-waste is a major concern because electronic materials, electronic components have got a lot of metals in it. Okay, there are ferrous metals, non-ferrous metals. Apart from that, there are various heavy metals also like lead, cadmium, mercury, chromium. All these are present within the electronic gadgets. And that is why once it is discarded into the atmosphere, into the environment, we know the importance there. Once it is leaching out, so the importance of leachate have already, leaching of material I've highlighted in the last tutorial. So keeping that in mind, if these components are released into the environment, it leads to toxicity effects. It can even lead to cancer. So that is the main problem. That is why we have to manage e-waste properly. Okay, so because this electronic materials even has PCBs, okay, polychlorinated biphenyls, and there are a lot of research papers which gives an insight telling that PCBs can lead to cancer. So that is why we have to take care about e-waste and management of e-waste in a sophisticated manner. Coming to sources, constituents and some effects of e-waste, I have highlighted few. You can just have a look at it. So this table just gives you an information regarding various sources of e-waste. Okay, so what all sources of e-waste are present, and based on that what component is highly present in it, and based on that what are the health effects or health impacts that can cause if not treated properly. So I will explain one of it, just have a look at it. So based on your printed circuit boards, you know the printed circuit boards has a lot of lead in it, and that lead, if discarded into the environment without any prior treatment, will lead to damage to central nervous system. It leads to damage of kidneys, blood systems, and even it can lead to the effects of brain development. So the brain development in children will not be proper. There will be physical, mental disabilities. So that is a challenge. So that is why this kind of e-waste materials has to be managed in a proper manner. Same, you can see some other examples there, like your semiconductor material. So there cadmium is present in high amount. And if that is discarded again, it can lead to irreversible effects, certain toxicity effects in human beings which cannot be reversed. So if it cannot be reversed, the human health is under threat. Okay, so that is why we have to take care of all this. Apart from it, we know that these heavy metals are persistent organic pollutants. They are called as POPs, persistent organic pollutants. That means the human body does not have a mechanism to degrade it. So if you cannot degrade it, it accumulates in your body. So what happens? This accumulates in water, and you know aquatic life is there, and aquatic life which is present there, for example fish, they will accumulate this heavy metals within them. And once we have this fish and other things, it magnifies in our body. So that is why the concentration of that particular metal is going to increase drastically in the human beings. That is why it leads to a lot of health impacts. Okay, so we have to take care about all these issues. That is why we have to manage e-waste properly. So this is one figure to show you how informal sectors are managing e-waste. Okay, so e-waste management is becoming a tedious and a very difficult task to track these people. Okay, these informal sectors, they just do it because they know that there are precious metals within this printed circuit boards and other electronic materials, and what they do is they just do with their hands. You can just have a look how they are managing e-waste. It is highly poisonous. Okay guys, if you try to burn this in open air, it emits dioxins and furans, and I've already told you the importance of these gases. Like if dioxins and furans are released, it can even lead to cancer. So that is why we have to take care. These people directly, they without using any personal protective equipments, okay, like gloves, mask, anything, they do not use. They just remove the boards and just try to recover the metals, and they sell these metals and get some money for their daily life. Okay, so that is why this informal sectors is a main challenge, and managing this issue has become a very difficult task. Okay, so managing e-waste has to be done in a very sophisticated manner. Later in the PPT, I will show you how e-Parisara is working with e-waste management. Okay, so they are proper system they have, so where they can manage the e-waste properly. So coming to few treatment steps where e-waste can be managed. So one technique which used for management of e-waste is encapsulation. Even you can go for incineration systems. So these systems I've already highlighted in my previous tutorial. So same kind of systems, but managing e-waste will be done in this particular application. Apart from that, even sanitary landfills are used, but that is the last option. As we spoke in the waste hierarchy system, sanitary landfills will be given the last priority. So one important treatment step in case of e-waste is you have a lot of recycling, reusing and recovery options. Okay, so those are the main treatment steps where you try to recover or you try to recycle or reuse the materials. Apart from that, encapsulation and incineration are followed, and sanitary landfills are the last option that has to be used. So coming to little bit details of India's e-waste mess. Okay, what is the problem associated with e-waste? So here we know that a lot of e-waste is generated in India. And what is the risk is that it is rising. Okay, e-waste production is generating more and more. The production of electronic gadgets with more and more advancements in technology is leading to more obsolete materials, and that is why it is ending up as e-waste. Okay, so that is in the rise, and it is like 4 to 5%. Okay, 4 to 5% rise is happening. And what is the gap is that huge gap is there between generation of e-waste and recycling and dismantling of e-waste. So there is lot of e-waste generated, but the units which are there for recycling, reusing are very less. So that is why there is a gap between these two commodities. Coming to handling this e-waste in a scientific manner, as I told you, there are very less units which are doing this work, and that is why e-waste generation is not stopping, but e-waste management units are very less. So that is why there is a imbalance created, and that is why e-waste is leading to lot of environmental pollution, because it is dismantled by the informal sectors, and that is leading to problems. Okay, so that is why increased awareness has to be created among people about the problems with e-waste, and what happens if you do not treat it properly. If you burn e-waste, it can lead to cancerous conditions. All this has to be highlighted properly. Proper awareness has to be given to the people, and as we discussed, there are management rules, right? According to them, there are payback schemes also. So there, if you try to recycle your e-waste, if some percentage reduction in cost of buying a new equipment is given, then definitely people will try to put your e-waste material within the recycling bins. Okay, so that is why this kind of awareness programs and some kind of initiatives has to be taken by the brand owners itself, so that people give back their e-waste, and this e-waste is managed properly by consultancy companies like e-Parisara and others. So coming to a small case study on e-Parisara, as I told you, this is the India's first government authorized electronic waste recyclers. This started in 2005. Okay, these are well-versed. They have sophisticated technology for recycling, reusing of electrical and electronic equipments in an eco-friendly way. So what do you understand from eco-friendly way? But they're doing this job in a sophisticated manner without causing any harm to the environment. Okay, so they do it in a proper way. So the people who are working under this unit, they are trained properly. They have given all the protective equipments, personal protective equipments, so that they are not ending up in trouble. So their health is not at risk, plus environment is not at risk. Okay, so that is why these kind of companies are increasing now, because we know e-waste is not going to stop. For that reason, this kind of companies will have a great market in the coming future. Okay, and aims in reducing the accumulation of this discarded material and trying to see that this does not end up in landfill should be the major concern. Okay, because if it is going to landfill, there is no use. But if it is going to these units where they are trying to recover most of the materials, then your natural resources are not under stress. We can use this again and again and reduce the burden on the natural resources. Okay, so this kind of systems are generating a lot of employment opportunities also. So that is a plus point. Okay, apart from managing e-waste, it is creating employment facilities also for in this sector of e-waste management. So coming to the benefits of recycling, as I told you, it is giving more recovery of resources and the stress on natural resources is reducing. And then you have the economic benefits also. A lot of revenue can be generated from these recovered materials. Apart from that, there is environmental benefits also, like your natural resources are conserved and your environmental pollution is also reduced. And coming to the social benefits, your employment generation is increased. So that is why e-waste management has to be done in a sophisticated manner. And for that, we have companies like eParisara, which are playing a major role in managing e-waste in a proper manner. Okay, that is why we have e-waste management. And why should we recycle? So that is the question. So we know natural resources are limited and we have to take care of it. So if we can try to recover maximum from whatever waste we have, then definitely our natural resources are not under threat. So that is the major concern. Okay. Apart from that, we want to eliminate landfills because we know landfills are not the ultimate source. We know that is the last option given in the solid waste management hierarchy. So that is why our main aim should be to eliminate landfills as much as possible and try to recover resources from whatever we have. Okay. And apart from that, even trying to prevent your air pollution, water pollution and soil pollution. Because we know if you discard electronic materials as it is into the environment, we know acid rain is happening. And because of acid rain, the metals and other things can leach out into the environment and that can pollute your water bodies and it can pollute your environment if burnt, and it can pollute your soil also. And indirectly, if you're polluting water, your health is under risk because we consume water and water is contaminated. It gets accumulated within your body since it is a POP material, and that is why your health will be under risk. So that is why we have to take care about this material, that is e-waste. And it also generates a lot of employment opportunities. Apart from that, I have put a YouTube link there. I want you to please watch that particular video. It is very motivating. Okay, it is Digital India e-waste management. It is a video in Kannada. Okay, in the Kannada language. I just want you to watch that video and have an idea about how e-waste management is carried out. Okay, thank you for watching guys. Do subscribe the channel for more updates.